Hello everyone. So as you all know that we are continuing with the fifth chapter, The Summit Within, the biography of HPS Ahluwalia, actually a part of his biography. And we had done almost 2 pages of this chapter, and in this introduction we had read about his goals of life, why he wanted to climb the Mount Everest, and what kind of feelings were there in him when he was returning from the top of the Everest. He was actually not fully joyful or joyous, but somewhere mixed feelings were there. And what kind of a mixed feelings were there? That he is still not understanding that why he went there, why he wanted to climb the Everest. But once the goal has achieved, now there was nothing left for him in his life, and he's continuously thinking when he's coming down, then now what will be his next target, or what will be his next summit to climb. So here in this session we'll continue with the last paragraph of page number 77. We have to start from this only. I have given few of the words also in homework. So whatever words, new words will come here, that you will do in the same way as I had told. So here I'm starting with the last paragraph of 77 number page. Once having granted this, the question remains, why Everest? So yes, he is sharing his feelings only, that I was continuously thinking about that why Everest, why I wanted to climb Everest only. Although in his brief account of his childhood he has explained that he was attracted towards the mountains since very beginning, but now the conditions are changed because he had achieved whatever he wanted to achieve. Now further he is saying, because it is the highest, the mightiest, and has defied many previous attempts. Defies here means frustrated. So he is saying why he wanted to climb Everest only, not any other peak, because Everest was the highest peak, the mightiest peak, and many previous attempts, the people who made attempts, they all were not successful in achieving the peak of the Everest only. So he defied that Everest, peak of the Everest, it defied many others people attempts. So definitely it was an achievement for him that he has achieved that successfully. Further he is saying it takes the last ounce of one's energy. So definitely it's a hard work physically. You should be almost dying when you are going up. So he's saying it takes your last ounce of energy of your body even. It is a brutal struggle with rock and ice, and ice and ice everywhere there on Everest, and many of the rocks are there, and you'll have to struggle with these two things also. So definitely that time you are not going to see them only, but you will have to do a struggle with them for going up. You will have to clear your ways, you will have to pass many of the obstacles, and rock and ice are also one of the obstacles in your ways. Further he is saying, once taken up it cannot be given up halfway, even when one's life is at stake. The passage back is as difficult as the passage onwards. So further he is explaining that it's not like that only, that you will go there and you had just put your mark there and that will be enough. But yes, when you will have to come down, that will take the equal strength of your body, and it is equally difficult when you go up and when you are returning down from the top of the Everest. And then when the summit is climbed, when once you reached at the peak, there is the exhilaration, the joy of having done something, and the sense of a battle fought and won. There is a feeling of victory and happiness. So here he is explaining that once when you are standing there at the top of the Everest, that you will feel victorious, like you had won some battle with some giant and something like that. And he is saying that there you will feel exhilarated, excited, very much excited, and your heart will be full of joy. Then further he is saying, glimpsing a peak in the distance, I had transported to another world. I experienced a change within myself. So he is saying, when the peak has started seeing, I was able to see the peak from some distance only, that it had given a strange kind of energy into my body, although I was totally tired, but it gives you some strength, and that experience changes you completely from your inner side even. It's nothing like that, that you, if you are just climbing the Everest, it will just for the an achievement only, but yes, it will give you some kind of a satisfaction, and that satisfaction will change your further life. And what kind of experience he's talking about? He's sharing about that experience, that experience only be called mystical. What is mystical? Spiritual, as you feel with the communion of God. So that kind of experience changes you completely. By its beauty, aloofness when you are alone somewhere, and here they are talking about the aloofness of Mount Everest. Here they are saying, by its beauty, aloofness, might, ruggedness, and the difficulties encountered on the way, the peak draws me to it as Everest did. It is a challenge that is difficult to resist, and he is saying, because as he has explained earlier also, Everest is the mightiest peak, the highest peak. It is aloof there in some lonely place, and its ruggedness, its hardness is there, and these characteristics of Mount Everest, it just forced me. I can't resist, I have to climb that peak. So he's sharing his own feelings now here. Further, he is saying, looking back, I find that I have not yet fully explained why I climbed Everest. So he is continuously just going into the sea of thinking only when he is coming down. Now he's continuously thinking about his further future. He's thinking that about the past also, that how he had made up his mind to climb the Everest. And here he is saying that still when I am looking back, I am not able to find out that why I climbed that Everest. Still that question is there, and he is not finding the proper answer of that. So he is saying, it is like answering a question why you breathe. So he himself is giving the answer, that it was equally important for me to climb the Everest as I am breathing, as breathing is important for me. So there is no particular answer of this question. I wanted to climb Everest, and it was very much important for me. So it is, he is saying that it was equally important as I am breathing. And further he is giving some more instances, important work of his own, as he is saying, and it is equally important as I breathe, equally important as you help your neighbor, and as you do good acts. So he is saying, so these all things are necessary for every human beings, and for me, like that only, this climbing of Everest was equally important. Further he is saying, and then there is a fact that Everest is not just a physical climb. The man who has been to the mountain top becomes conscious in a special manner of his own smallness in this large universe. So he is saying, as in the very first paragraph, the feeling of humility is there, he has mentioned. So here he is giving the explanation of that why he was feeling humiliated there at the top of the Everest. He is saying that for a human being, for realizing yourself, it is equally important for you to reach at the top of such giant thing, and there you will find that you are a very small, the tiniest thing of the world only. So you should not be proud of anything. So these big things are there, these hardness which they put forward in front of you. So these shows you that you are not the bigger one actually, as you are thinking, and you should not be proud of anything. There are many things, those who are mightiest and biggest in the world. So when he's saying you are standing at the top of that Mount Everest, there you feel that yes, there are many things which are bigger than me, and you should not have any arrogance whenever you have to just continuing with the others, and whenever you have to put forwards your own manners in front of anyone. Further he is saying the physical conquest. Conquest means when we are continuously thinking and we are conquer with our thinkings only. The physical conquest of a mountain is only one part of the achievement. There is more to it than that. So he is saying that this not only the physical conquest only, the physical struggle only, but you will have to put many of the things there. It is followed by a sense of fulfillment. There is the satisfaction of a deep urge to rise above one's surrounding. It is the eternal love for adventure in man. The experience is not merely physical, it is emotional, it is spiritual. So he is saying that it's not about the physical conquest only, but there are many things which you will find when you started climbing the Everest. When you start climbing the Everest, it will give you a feeling of fulfillment. You will feel satisfied. Apart from that, he is saying that it's a deep urge, it's a deep desire to rise up. So for that urge, for that desire, you will have to give your best. You will have to work hard more and more. Further, he is saying it is the eternal love, the love which can't die actually. It is the eternal love for the adventure. If you are an adventure lover, so definitely it will attract you a lot. Further, he is saying the experience is not only physical. It's not nothing like you will be physical tired only. It will give your physical strength only, but it's emotional strength also you need there if you want to climb. And apart from that, you should be spiritual also. You should love the nature, you should love the God, and in that aloofness when you are continuously climbing up, so there should be a communion between you and God. So that's why here he is saying that it should be spiritual also and emotional also. Further, I am going with the next paragraph on page number 78. Consider a typical climb towards the summit. On the last heights, you are sharing a rope with another climber. So as you know that they went there with the crew, a group of climbers were there. So he's saying that that is also actually excited thing for you, that you are sharing the same rope with other climbers also. That rope is there who is not taking your burden only, but others are also there. By the help of the same rope, they are climbing up. You firm in. He cuts the steps in the hard ice. Then he belays and you inch your way up. The climb is grim, and you strain every nerve as you take every step. So that's a very good experience, is sharing of his own. He's saying that that's a kind of sharing with others climber, and the help you have to provide them and they used to provide you, that means a lot. He's saying some of the their climbers were there, the crew members are there, those who are cutting the ice for putting your steps. And further they are saying, and there are strains in every nerves of your body, but still you will have to continue with the work, because there is responsibility of other group members also on you. So that also you will have to keep in mind, and there is no time actually to think about yourself only when you are going with a group. So definitely you'll have to think about the every members, otherwise their hard work will also be in vain. Further he is saying they have also recorded how they needed just that help, else they might have given up. Breathing is difficult. So see what kinds of difficulties, obstacles they have faced there, that when you are reaching at such height, so definitely breathing problem will be there will be difficult breathing, you are physically almost gone, you are physically tired, but you will have to keep your calm and you will have to maintain your presence of mind, so that your hard work and other members hard work should be useful somewhere, you should achieve whatever you wanted. So he is saying that work actually and that feelings give you somewhere strength when there is nothing left in your body. Here in this paragraph only he is saying, you wonder why you ever undertook the ascent. Ascent means again climb. And there are moments when you feel like going back. It would be sheer relief to go down instead of up. But almost at once you snap out of that mood, there is something in you that does not let you give up the struggle. So he is saying that time when you are going up with the group members, so as I have told you, you will have to think about the group members also, and until they wanted to go up, you will also have to continue with them. You can't say that I want to quit now, because you are going there as a team. So further he is saying, but yes, one thing is there, that there used to be some changes of mood. Many of the times he is saying that you will think that now I should return back, this is not my work, I can't be successful in that, but you can't give up even if one group member is there who wants to go up. So he's sharing many of the good experience of his climbing, and yes, up to this only we will do in this video, and possibly the next video will be the last one of this chapter, and that will continue in the next video. So here I'm ending this only. Thank you.